Join me for a full leg and booty day. I'm going to walk you through what I do and kind of explain it as I go so it can help you when you go to do your gym workout. Who else is working on their glutes this year? I always am. We're going to start with the warm up. I honestly just take a few minutes to work on my mobility to get my body ready to move. But the real warm up comes when you start your sets. I start a little bit lighter. So like at first, when I get into my squat, I'm just going to squat with the barbell. Then I'm going to do a weight that's like pretty easy for me and do not a full on all out set yet, and I kind of warm up to my heaviest set. And that's the best way to warm up for your body for a weightlifting workout, in my opinion. And just making sure you're mindful, you're not throwing the weight around without keeping your form a priority. So with good form, with mindfulness and doing that, you should be good to go. So you see I kind of just do a few mobility drills, and I'm adamant about stretching. I went through a period where I wasn't, but I know it's super, super important. So I'm bringing kind of the yoga girl back in and doing 10-minute stretches on my own outside of the gym. And that really helps me to lift, to be able to get into a deep squat. See how I'm just sitting into a deep squat for a minute with the barbell? That just gets my mind ready to get into the movement. So now we're going to start with our barbell squat. So the first one, this is pretty easy for me. I'm just going to do 10 reps with the 135. I've been trying to get my clients to start with intention. So even when you go to unrack the bar, I step up with purpose. I'm already contracting my core, setting the bar on my the shelf of my shoulder blades purposefully, and then I just take one step back, screw my feet in where I want them, and then prepare my breath. Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. So I'm keeping my core engaged the entire way through and making every rep look the same. That's really my goal with squat. Once I start to falter on form, that's it. So I've been working on form, depth, and making every rep look pretty, and it's helped a lot. I really want to hammer this point, and I say it all the time if you've listened to me before, time your rest intervals. When you're doing a heavy compound lift, even if you're doing a machine, honestly, if your goal is hypertrophy, it's really important that you rest in between sets and you learn how to push yourself enough in the sets that you need the rest, that it's worth it. That was my husband, by the way, on Racking the Weights. You'll see him again in this video later on. But anyways, so if you can see, I'm pushing weight. At the end of the set, I'm pretty drained. If I were to go right into another set, the quality would be super poor. I could injure myself. And I'm not pushing with the right intensity at that point because I'm so fatigued to actually force my muscles to change, to adapt, to grow, to progress. Progressive overload is really just getting better at the movements every single week, doing the same things. So if you're starting a weightlifting routine, keep in mind the best thing is doing the basics, keeping with the same plan for weeks on end. Honestly, you could do the same plan for months and just keep progressing and getting better at it. So I am always going to have a squat in my routine. I'm always going to have a hip thrust. I'm always going to have certain movements that I'm trying to progress at. And the exciting part of lifting is seeing yourself get better, seeing your body change because you're actually doing progressive overload. So watch out for the plans that change all the time. Watch out for the plans that don't require you to rest, because at that point you're not doing the most efficient strategy for building muscle. So if your goal is building muscle, get boring with it, repeat the same movements, see how you can push yourself by improving your form, improving your mind muscle connection, adding more weight every week, or adding reps. Either way, you're trying to get 1% better every single time. Now, I say that, but it is the beginning of the year, and sometimes I like to decide how I'm going to move forward for the next few months. So this week I've tried a couple of new things just to see if this is what I'm going to continue for the next, again, not just couple of weeks, but couple of months. So I really like this new thing that I'm doing where I'm squatting and then I go right into a leg press for more volume. Squat I'm doing for strength, and then next I go into a leg press. I have the stability of the machine so I can push a lot of weight for a lot of reps and get a little bit more volume and push myself that way. So I am going to keep that in my routine this year. This one though, I am not going to keep into my routine. I wanted to try the Smith machine hip thrust. This specific one is vertical and it's not actually great for a hip thrust for a few reasons. You can't really move the bar with your body's natural range of motion since it's just up and down. Like typically if I'm doing a free barbell, I can get my hips like all the way down and like get a lot more out of it. I can tuck under, tilt my pelvis towards my face at the top and like really feel my glutes kick in. This one I can only go up and down a little bit, so it was challenging because you'll see in the next set I put on a lot of weight at the end, but it just didn't feel like as good as doing the barbell in my opinion. If you love doing it on the Smith's machine, it's easy, it's convenient for you, keep doing it. It's just I'm like trying out new things to see what I'm going to keep moving forward with this year in 2024. So that's Braulio. He's helping me unrack it because I couldn't like turn it at the top since it's a lot of weight. I was struggling to unrack it perfectly. So if it is that case for you, have somebody spot you, have somebody help you to re-rack it on the machine. You kind of have to like hold the little hooks back so it doesn't hook on its own. But yeah, you can see I still push myself to failure. I'm not mad about it, but I'm not gonna do it again. Next week we're back to the barbell. Okay, we're getting closer to the end. 2 more exercises. Here's another glute-focused movement. It's the Glu Diator Machine. If you lean forward like I am, see I'm not leaning back. I don't know if you can tell in this video, but I'm not leaning back all the way against it. You can get a little bit more of like the anterior fibers of the glute max in addition to the glute medius and minimus. And I like that. It's actually a little less pressure on, I don't know if pressure is the right word, but it's a little less on the piriformis too. So if that tends to bother you, leaning forward might help you on this one. And I love working extra glute max, so why not? So I typically lean forward for like the abduction machine, Glu Diator machine, and do as many reps as possible. I went heavier for the last 2 sets. Then, my friend, we're almost done. Cable kickbacks. Keep a sturdy spine, sturdy torso, so I'm really engaging my core to keep my hips level and square, my shoulders level and square. Then that top leg I'm really focused on. I'm squeezing my glute. I'm going for a little tempo here, so it's moving slow. I like dead stop at the top, squeeze my butt, and move slowly on the way down. I try to make it harder by pretending like I'm pushing my foot back against something, like honestly like through mud, through something thick. It really helps that mind muscle connection for me personally. If it helps you, try that out. If the weight's really heavy for a single leg or like a split stance type exercise, I will also rest in between sets. This time it wasn't crazy hard since I was doing like 3 sets of 12. It's not insanely heavy. Like I said, more tempo work. I only rested like 15 seconds. But if you need to rest between sides, do it. Don't be in a rush. Quality over quantity. That helped me so much in seeing results, was doing less but better, resting, doing high intensity, and really earning those rests for the workout. And then of course outside of it, eating good, sleeping good, doing all my healthy habits like a gym girl should. So that's the end of the workout. If you liked it, subscribe to my channel, comment below, and see you next time.